he was failing. And then he didn't admit that he was susceptible when he was susceptible. Then he said he was going anywhere, but behind the scenes they made sure he could go nowhere. And then Kamala Harris emerges without a Josh Shapiro or Governor Bashir.
You didn't bring any weed eater line with you, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering if you wanted me to finish that job today since
Somebody in charge.
what are you bringing?
That's to work out. I'm not sure. He did a bunch of interviews. He did a couple on Fox, but they didn't want no part of it. Judy was at KFCK and said, "Look, hey, Judy."
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem. What's your question?
Well, first I want to say thank you very much for having a radio show where I feel like I can trust the information that you and your team put together and that it's not completely biased or false. I
That's one of the nicest things you can say. Now, what do you think about those 4 days we just lived?
I did not enjoy them. That really wasn't the reason that I called, but yeah, I just did not enjoy them. I hate to say this, but someone just walked in my office and I do have to run. So thank you very much, and I definitely appreciate your honesty and your reporting skills.
That's fascinating. There's never, I've heard people get disconnected before.
What's up, nobody?
When you get trouble, it makes sense. Calling from home, calling to go work.
And she's been home for quite a long time.
I'm waiting 45 minutes.
Working off all the time.
All right, so when we come back, Brian Brenberg said he was at the end. He's going to be here going to the Big Money Show. This is one of those days you got to remember because then we want DNC's done 74 days until we 74 days till we get a new president or somebody's going to win the election roughly in that period. And if he decides to win, but also it's going to be circumstances, some of which you can't control. Because unemployment's gone up and inflation has gone up at the same rate. They now feel like the Fed, they can cut rates. What does it mean? Well, now the market's up 461 points. They're at 41,000. 2 weeks ago, it was about 1,000 points. Also today, RFK is going to be speaking in Arizona. President Trump speaking in Arizona. Will they meet and announce a big endorsement? They're going to open every battleground state. Classic weather and financial information. Your workday.
Offered by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm, best sale of the year. Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns and Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more.
A news and information update on WPALIS and 96.3 FM HD2.
Luch Mob. What's going on the radar? Luch Mob. How y'all doing? Working on some wiring, brother.
And one person is from former President Trump. Personal protective team former President Joseph, he doesn't know endorsement and is expected to announce the end of the presidential campaign today. Together on some state ballots working on more. Arizona Secretary of State sharing paperwork on social media showing Kennedy has withdrawn from the state's November election. The Trump campaign put out a statement saying a special guest will be joining former President Trump at a rally in the key battleground state today. Fox right now. America's listening to Fox News. Watch out for first responders finding a grass fire on the Parkway near East 12 Russian Boulevard. There's road work out on I-45 northbound, blocking off the left lane from Simpson Stewart Road over to East 12. With KLF right now traffic on birth certificate, or worrying about the safety of their jewelry.
Just got water here on it.
And yet, we offer delivery and installation to your home or business. Talk to one of our state experts at any of our DFW A1 locksmith locations. Celebrating 75 years as DFW locksmith. Shop now at a-1locksmith.com.
Pretty cool, huh? Oh, what do you call that style? It's,
Tankless, electric tanker.
that's pretty cool. Is it, less expensive because it's less material?
Well, I don't know.
Seems like this should be very cheap compared to tank one.
Yeah, it seems like it's on it. I mean, it's got a bunch of temperature sensors right there, and then those, I guess those are the heating elements, temperature sensors. And then these are like, for the controller board, I guess they're like 5 or 12 volt. I forget what the hell you call them, transistors or something.
Yep, that's pretty cool. Make sure I know how to.
There's no breaking. My knee pain went away. I've had some more back issues, and I've noticed that went away. And if I can contribute that to Andro 400, one thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is that it attacks cells back. Well, like I did, I've lost 6 inches. This product really does.
Having fun yet?
If you like it,
Yeah.
similar enough, then get Andro 400. The safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Andro400.com. 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
This is one of the best personal finance podcasts. The Jack and Benjamin Show with Bill and his friends makes financial literacy fun and author Tessa Webb. The ability to get
All right, what's going on, brother?
Wherever you listen, I was writing to me here. Marky and Ted and Robbie, what to do on 570 Mega Life and 96.3 SMHC2. Over to the radio. Direction of travel is clear, and the timing and pace of our cut will be on. You gotta dig up, you will be out in the balance of the road. As we make sure the progress towards the way. With an appropriate dialing back and positive strength, there is a good reason to think that the economy will get back to 2% inflation while maintaining the strong labor market. All right, so what does that mean, and what kind of rates are we looking at, and how does the market respond? I can tell you, but the experts are here to make sense of it all. Brian Benberg is here, Jack Daniels, they all are part of the three-headed co-host of the Big Money Show that starts shortly, 1 o'clock. Three-headed, right. All right, so Jackie, if you move a little closer to the microphone, I mean, we have good technology. So first off, Jackie, what kind of cut are we getting, and what's significant that we take out said over in Jackson Hole?
Hard to say what kind of cut we're getting, whether it'll be 25 basis points or 50 basis points. I don't think we could do much more than that. The key is broadcasting to the market that they're going to get the cut they want. Why is he broadcasting that? Because we got this the last jobs report was weak, then we got the revisions, which indicated that the labor market is even weaker. What Jerome Powell's trying to do, and what I think is dangerous here, is to try to walk a tightrope. And that sounds like he mentioned a strong labor market. He doesn't want too many people to lose their jobs because that would be bad, for the overall economy and for America at large. What he's trying to do is cut rates to stimulate just a little bit to keep corporations not laying people off. And, it's like Simone Biles trying to stick a Venus landing. Like, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
It does always hurt, though.
Right.
So I'm good at small class, trust me. Just collectively, I'm willing to lose the analogy to move on with the tweet. Okay. So Brian, well, why is Marbury funny like this? It's just free. What do you played a very boring clip, right? That's the easy thing. That's the book. What he said was, hey, everybody, rates are coming down. We think we want. Oh, that's what we want to hear. We want to see interest rates come down because we're tech investors, if we're growth investors, rates coming down, these stocks can go up, and the market is responding to it. He just gave a big victory signal. And it's a big deal for him to say what he said, but it's a very aggressive speech when it comes down to sex.
If he's wrong, and he's been wrong before, when he said inflation was transitory, and he waited till
Talking about that big
if he's wrong here, and he cuts too soon, and the market, or cutting the stock market, they always want to cut. But the economy isn't ready to absorb that. He's sending inflation higher.
Okay, and we'll get into, the amount of the rate cut is TC, but we don't know. So, and how do you, I think you can use 25 basis points this next meeting. So how does that affect if I, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson want to take out a loan or want to get a mortgage? That first cut's not gonna make a big deal. I mean, it's 25 basis points if you're paying 6.5, 6.75, and is that what we're paying now? That's 6.5%. But, what it starts getting people thinking about is, well, he's gonna do that in December, he's gonna do it again before the end of the year, maybe twice, and he's gonna do it probably 4 or 5 times next year, which means, oh, maybe my mortgage can get down to 5% range by the time I get to the end of 2025. That starts to get interesting, because you got people piled up who wanted to buy homes for a couple of years, and there's nothing on the market, so this could break that logjam, except you've got a presidential candidate talking about giving $25,000 to new home buyers, which, if you did that, right, would send prices way back up. So you tell the market would respond, and I think we should get out to the same amount. Yeah, so we did.
And actually, to Brian's point, if you get Kamala presidency and the $25,000 credit for a first-time home buyer goes through, that would change the whole dynamic of how it operates and where rates should be. And so ultimately, that's also why I think it's risky with respect to what he's doing, because we don't know who's going to be the president. We don't know what kind of policies will be in place.
So let's go. Let's see what we hear. We know. We hear it from the vice president. We hear it from people who will not keep their names to reputable organizations. So
It's a ring.
Or if she wins, she'll raise the corporate rate from 21 to 28. So people look at that and say, oh, I think corporations can afford it. But that's really not what the corporate rate is. No, if you say corporations can afford it, you have to spend a lot of time thinking about how corporations think. If the tax rate goes up 28 is the okay. Where do we cut back just like anybody has to? And it's probably going to be in investing in the business. Which
The donut shop coffee is.
so look at corporations pass all of that cash down. Just like a business, a grocery store, when they get hit with inflation, they pass on the consumer. It ends up in your pocket or getting paid out.
And I need to be the grim reaper, but I can't help it. Ultimately, what will happen if you raise the rate to 28%? People will lose their jobs.
Because they're all hot.
Durham Health is desperately trying to avoid if we're not in a soft recession right now. It will come as a result of that. The whole point of how Trump tries to do it with access is not to enrich corporations the way the left likes to say. It is to foster growth, because growth is the engine that fuels our economy. Everybody benefits when corporations are growing.
Right, they just say a CEO, they think a rich Jamie Dimon is, or but they don't understand that secretaries, there's interns, there's vice presidents, there's custodians, they clean the building, there's realtors, there's commercial realtors, they gotta get commissions, they're still in the building. Right. This is gotta be done, but I just think that if someone like you can figure that out, or those that serve in the business background, I don't know, I'm so certain. Why can't politicians figure that out?
Well, they know the truth. So I'll tell you what really troubles me about what Kamala is saying. She went through a whole list of, we're not gonna cut this, we're not gonna cut that, we're gonna keep spending. Where are you gonna get the money? Are you trying to get it from the corporations will be one way, but ultimately everybody's taxes are gonna go up if you want to keep spending like that. And that was the biggest problem with the Biden-Harris administration. It's crazy inflation.
How about this? She's the base. Boy, that's it. Do you have any idea that people play game plans it out to you? I mean, somebody.
Oh, my darling.
Say, all right, you got what's going on over here? You got a house. You got some. You got the art. I don't know if you have art. Maybe you're an art guy. I don't know if you're an art guy. You got some cars, maybe. Let's do it for it. You've got some financial assets. You're like, well, we think those are worth more today than they were at the beginning of last year.
This live is pretty boring, folks.
You have cash in your pocket, but you'll have to give
I'll be right
us
back.
cash for how much those increase. And by the way, every country that's tried that has dropped it because it is such a disaster.
Good. Well, I also think we're talking about two different things. So what Brian's talking about is the tax on unrealized capital gains, which also will impact your stock investments, whether it's in your 401k, pension, personal account, whatever it is. So that's number one. You're talking about a wealth tax, which I think is ultimately going to end up, could manifest itself in, you're in this net worth, you're in the top of the 1%, you've got X amount of dollars as a minimum threshold. We want X percent of that just because.
Just because. So here we go. If you were a billionaire, you're only paying 8%. We keep hearing Joe Biden say that. So it's a much more complex thing than you say on average you pay 8%. So then you say you can afford to pay 16%. Right. Does it become more complicated than that? It's way more complicated than that. The guys who are telling you they want to fix that are the ones who wrote the tax code to give you the opportunity, if you have a loss, to deduct that from your taxes. Or if you got to pay taxes on it. They wrote the code. These guys have to pay taxes just like everybody else, but there's a complicated tax code and that makes their rate actually fairly complicated when you look at income taxes.
Well, that's on the income side, and then the other side of those high net worth individuals in this country, they use vehicles like trusts and they take advantage
Figured out I
of
got-
laws and all different kinds of things.
I got 50-amp double pole breakers. I got 3 of them.
Having to pay tax on it. Now,
And that's what came with the house when I bought it. That was hooked up to the old water heater.
Democrats too.
And requires 40 amp.
And they don't want to go after.
So I gotta buy 3 double pole 40 amp breakers to replace those in the box. But the wiring is good size for it, at least. I just hope it fits in there.
If you live in certain cities in this country, you know that once you pay your taxes, there's not much left after $400,000 to live in San Francisco or New York City.
Ain't nobody watching this crap anyway.
They came out last night, she says, I'm from the middle class, as the vice president, so I know what it's like. I'm gonna give a middle class tax cut. And what Donald Trump will do is continue to give his billionaires tax cuts. So he's gonna raise from 37 to 39, the upper of the top threshold.
Right in the
And
way.
then she's gonna give the middle class tax cuts, tax reforms is better. I understand.
So that y'all can see.
Trump tax cuts.
He's allowing to expire, by the way. And she's letting the tax cuts expire, it doesn't make sense.
Because she believes that she can successfully label Trump a billionaire who doesn't care about little people and tax reformers for the billionaires who are financing his campaign. Yeah.
And to me, I think she's lying. Middle class, they need those tax reform around that, but she's lying to you to say, no, we're gonna get rid of that, and then we're gonna do something else later. She's not telling us what it is. That is what troubles me.
I can trouble me, that has to be worked out in court, but I also think it too. There are people behind the scenes who know exactly what she's gonna do. The fact that people don't want to tell you what she's gonna do, they should be proud to tell you that their vision for growing the economy, but they're not. Is it that big of a deal going from 30 to 39 on the upper tax rate? And that's what Trump did, take it down one. If you want to bring it up too. Yeah, every tax change matters. Every tax change affects behavior. The problem with saying you want to raise the upper rate from 37 to 39 is it's not the only thing that you want to do. It's not the only thing she wants to do. They want to scratch all of the tax cuts. They label some tax cuts as a billionaire tax cut. It's not a billionaire tax cut. It's a tax cut for everybody. So I don't think anybody is trying to Working hard in an uncertain environment.
Hi, Terry. There we go. Oh, you can see or not.
Honestly, they announced that learning something new every day on the Brian Kilby Show. Hey, how are ya?
Yeah, y'all can see now.
Are you tired of restless nights? Tossing and turning only to wake up grumpy and exhausted? Well, say goodbye to sleepless nights and hello to rejuvenating sleep with the REM Super Pack. Our innovative drug-free solution is designed to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up less during the night with zero melatonin and no CBD. Now you can feel refreshed and rejuvenated every morning, ready to conquer the day. Backed on years of scientific studies, discover what over 100,000 satisfied customers already know. In fact,
Well, what water heater would you use, Mike?
The REM Super Pack instead of other sleep aids. See for yourself why so many people trust the REM Super Pack for a better night's sleep.
Visit supersleep.com to claim your 30-day risk-free trial now, or call 800-549-0755. Call right now for your 30-day risk-free trial. 800-549-0755. 800-549-0755.
Okay.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset? Well, I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from
This is going to be fun.
At AbacusPay.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just a second. There are no fees.
Yeah.
Get real value for your life insurance when you do it with Abacus. Learn more at AbacusPay.com. Not all policies
Well, this is going to work or not.
are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
That's selection better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how much hearing in life is. Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Wow, what a pain in my ass.
until we get value, there's nothing standard about them. PCI is brilliant. Go to ASCO.com. Dasco, we're on it. Whatever it is. Ever since I was a kid, I looked up to my dad. Man, he could fix anything, including power generators. Smoke and the sound of the machine roaring with electricity was the coolest thing ever. He'd give me a high five and say, son, you're the generator. Since then, I've spent decades building my company with one goal, helping people like my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I own the best generator company in DFW. See our story at generator.com. Like generator with a K. Generators.com.
You don't hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you with the calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. DRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call
I bet you do.
575-6427. Don't lose hope. DRA can overview what you
Don't lose hope.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ for the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. Enter Tax Finance today by visiting us online at CRA.com or call 800-575-6427. That's 800-575-6427. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Brian Kilby from the Fox News Channel here is my friend and yours, Sean Hannity, this afternoon, 4 till 7 on 570 KLIF and 96.3 FM, HD2.
Come on, man.
That's getting you talking. You're with Brian Kilby.
Please live a life like ours. He knows us. Johnson doesn't know you at all.
Who the hell's talking?
You think he understands that when your car
Don't we have like a sports
you
film?
can't get
Damn.
bored? No. His first word was probably chauffeur.
The struggle is real.
So you really think you're going to define Donald Trump if that's what you'll use your time for?
He's not off.
Because the issue was he was talking about, well, he's using the running mate for Joe Biden. Remember Joe Biden?
Oh, shut the hell
He
up.
said, no thanks. Lake Kiwi tomorrow. Again, if you can't be with us on the Vote Parade in person, follow it on X at Gallagher Show or the Mike Gallagher Show YouTube. 7 o'clock hour as we continue here on 660 AM The Answer and the Mike Gallagher Show. The Democrats. Now the real work begins. I'll share a great column from Mr. Davis Hanson about the Harris. Also, RFK Jr. has a big announcement to make. Will he endorse Trump for president? Or is that kind of a big fake? That and more next hour. Keep it right here on 660 AM The Answer as the Mike Gallagher Show continues. Relief factor is
Hey, Martin? Is there an AM sports station?
No, there's an FM.
What is it?
I don't remember. Do you want the AM or FM? I can look it up.
AM, if you got it.
AM sports station. Says 106.7 for AM. 105.3 is FM. FM. I guess 1540. Does that sound right? 1540
1540. Let's find out.
or 1310?
1310?
Yeah. $860.
Is there an FM one?
Yeah, the FM one's 105.3. There's also 96.7.
96.7.
Yeah, 96.7.
Oh, you didn't know that one? Not even close. Donovan's gonna have a much harder time.
There you go.
I know.
I'll do that.
I have an old ear,
Thank
but
you.
let's do this. I'm not afraid. Okay, that's Usher. And I'll give you a point for the song and the that's Good Kisser. Nice. You get a point for the song and the artist. Man, that nice. What is it? 8-bit? 8-bit. It is. I know. Destroys the song. Didn't. It's mine.
Fort Worth, Dallas, a shameless media station.
It's 11 o'clock in Texas country for one.
Sweet.
You want a different one?
I'm looking for like the lower AM band.
Oh, yeah.
Table reflects on the Democratic convention and the race ahead.
Also, water-related violence is way up around the globe. Droughts are increasing the violent events associated with disputes over who has access to limited water resources when water is scarce.
And 70-some days left till the election. Who's counting? Nate Silver is. The famed geeky forecaster joins us. For all intents and purposes, the election's a toss-up, and I think there's a little bit of risk of Democrats becoming complacent coming up here now. First news.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Lakshmi Singh. The Department of Justice is accusing the real estate software company RealPage of enabling landlords to undermine competition at the expense of renters. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the DOJ and 8 states are now suing RealPage.
RealPage sells landlords what it calls, quote, revenue management software. We allege that this software is developed, marketed, and sold to enable landlords to sidestep vigorous competition in the rental market.
The antitrust suit is part of a broader federal effort against the alleged misuse of technology. The Texas-based RealPage denies its software is anti-competitive. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says he is increasingly confident that inflation will soon be tamed. NPR Scott Horsley reports that sets the stage for the central bank to start cutting interest rates next month.
Speaking at an economic conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Powell noted that inflation has cooled considerably and appears to be on a path back to the Fed's target of 2%. At the same time, the unemployment rate has been inching up. Powell says he and his colleagues don't want to unnecessarily hurt the job market, so it's time to start lowering interest rates.
The upside risks to inflation have diminished, and the downside risks to employment have increased. The time has come for policy to adjust.
Powell cautioned the timing and speed of rate cuts will depend on how the economy performs. We'll get one more report card on the job market and inflation before the Fed's next rate-setting meeting in September. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
The Democratic National Convention wrapped up last night in Chicago with Vice President Kamala Harris formally accepting her party's presidential nomination. NPR's Deepa Shivaram reports on Harris's acceptance speech.
Harris spoke about her domestic policy visions, like enshrining abortion rights and creating more affordable housing. But she also talked extensively about her foreign policy experience.
As president, I will never waver in defense of America's security and ideals, because in the enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny, I know where I stand and I know where the United States belongs.
She contrasted it to her opponent, former President Trump, and seemed to call out his reported insults of veterans. Harris will continue campaigning extensively now that the DNC has wrapped, but she'll also be hunkering down for debate prep. Deepa Shivaram, NPR News, Chicago.
Former President Donald Trump is campaigning in Nevada and Arizona. Meanwhile, independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is expected to end his campaign today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 277 points, or more than 0.5%, at 40,986. This is NPR News. The White House is dispatching its national security advisor to China for the first time since 2016. The senior Biden administration official says Jake Sullivan slated to visit Beijing next week as part of an ongoing effort to manage tensions between the military and economic rivals. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has also visited China on behalf of the Biden administration. The studio distributing the new film Megalopolis pulled down its trailer hours after it went up. NPR's Mangalita Barco reports it appears to have included fabricated film reviews.
For 5 decades, Francis Ford Coppola worked on his passion project, Megalopolis, a Romanesque fable imagining New York of the future.
One filmmaker has always been ahead of his time.
The early film festival buzz on Megalopolis has been mixed. So ahead of its theater debut on September 27th, Lionsgate released an unusual marketing trailer. It included quotes by well-known film critics trashing his previous movies like Apocalypse Now and The Godfather.
True genius is often misunderstood.
Media reports quickly pointed out those critical reviews appear to have been made up. The studio immediately recalled the trailer and offered apologies to the critics involved and to Coppola. In a statement, Lionsgate admitted, quote, "We screwed up." Mangalita Barco, NPR.
NASDAQ is up 157 points. The Dow is picked up 262 points. This is NPR.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Fisher Investments. Fisher's dedicated team of specialists provide resources on investing, retirement income, estate planning, and more. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
We will talk, in no particular order, about the revised unemployment numbers, a certain speech by a certain Fed chair, and where else crosses our economic minds. Next time on Market Club.
Tonight at 6:30 on 90.1 KPRA News.
Your source for election coverage from our region, Texas, and the nation. NPR in North Texas.
90.1 KERA News.
And KPRAnews.org.
From NPR and WBUR, I'm Peter O'Dowd in Phoenix.
And I'm Scott Tong in Washington, D.C. This is Here and Now. At the Democratic National Convention last night, Vice President Kamala Harris prosecuted her case to the American public. She called rival Donald Trump an unserious man whose re-election would bring serious consequences. Harris delivered her life story. In a striking contrast to Trump, pledged to move America forward.
Highest aspirations. A president who leads and listens, who is realistic, practical, and has common sense, and always fight.
What would you say, Mom? $1,000.
cover on the new album by Willie Nelson, which is Willie Nelson's 76th studio album.
This was, you mentioned those red, white, and blue balloons. Those were the colors all around. We had a lot of flags, a lot of pride, and just a lot of happiness. It felt like a giant party. And, with the musical guests and even the speakers enjoying it. And the last thing you mentioned to me was most balloons fell. They didn't just fall. Doug Emhoff and Tim Walz were bouncing them, playing volleyball with their kids and grandkids on stage. And it just seemed like it was an authentic and happy moment for families as well as the thousands of Democrats who convened in Chicago this week.
Yeah, and Mark and I want to kind of get your impressions too, and also ask about the idea of joy. I mean, does it have political currency? We know anger does.
Well, I think one thing we've seen from Vice President Harris is trying to take kind of the best of the Obama 2008 campaign era and put her own spin on it. So his was hope and change. They had been looking for their own message. The word joy, I think, has been a word that they believe resonates in particular with women and with people of color. And one of the things I was really interested in was how Vice President Harris would handle the issue of gender and the idea that she would break a glass ceiling. That was a big part of her influence.
I won't listen to this shit.
About the electoral vote. And in Harrison's case, it was much.
Or tax on democracy, which was the central.
We're going to get to Jean in Cleveland in just a moment. I want to share with our listeners the Immaculate Heart of Mary signifies the great purity and love of the heart of the Blessed Virgin Mary for God. It points us to her profound interior life where she experienced both joys and sorrows.
I got your sorrow here.
See if this is accurate. That he's coming up at 10:30. But back to Kamala Harris. Her speech last night, basically, Marvin, and then it's from the Donald Trump detail. I am guessing at this point that it's the site agent. And I'm already seeing the media screw this up. I heard this on cable news this morning. How many times I got to tell you? You have got to get the nomenclature and the names of the people down, or you're going to screw this up. Because the Secret Service management, the FBI, love playing jargon games with you. Did you have any FBI assets on January 6th? What do you mean assets? You know what we mean, smartass.
My assets right here.
You mean paid informants. You mean administrative assistants. And you mean the dog catcher we used to train us. This is what they do. I heard it this morning. Like, and one of the agents put on leave is likely the lead site agent. There is no lead site agent. There is a lead agent and a site agent. It is important. It's not nitpicking. The lead agent covers the whole strip. The side agent covers the site. Those are not the same people. I'm not picking this. I'm telling you, this is how the government screws you over. Ask Susan Crabtree. You submit a FOIA. Did you divert? What do you mean divert? I said, you know what we mean, smart ass. You're just playing games to delay us. Now, I've got a question. So 5 agents were put on leave for security failures? So the acting director who got a promotion after the assassination attempt and the death of Corey Caberto got a promotion from deputy director to acting director. Ron Rowe. Yes, that actually happened. He got a promotion out of it. Multiple whistleblowers have told me, Susan Crabtree, the reporter from Real Clear, and others, that it was Ron Rowe who made some of the security decisions to not grant CSU and counter sniper assets to the DTD, Donald Trump detail, that led to this. That Ron Rowe was the guy in that decision chain who did it. How is he not on me? Folks, this is what kills people about the government. Absolutely destroys it. There is zero accountability in the government at all. It's amazing how many deep state, sloppy Republicans and goon Democrats and commies, they're like, I think back to that Milton Friedman, Bill Donahue segment about greed. And Milton Friedman says to Donahue, what, you don't think the government's greedy? It's amazing how many communists will claim like, oh my gosh, you gotta stop capitalism, they're all greedy. In capitalism, which, yes, greed is a thing everywhere. Human beings can be greedy. There is a mechanism to control that. There's other companies trying to compete against you, number one. And there's this thing called stockholders and shareholders in the company who, if they think you're doing something dumb, they'll get you fired. The government has none of that. Oh no, Dan, they oppose. If no one votes in the Secret Service director, Biden's trying to avoid any more controversy as his vice president runs on his inflation agenda, so he doesn't want to fire the guy.
Come on, man.
Jim Scott, you may remember, was appointed by Governor Nikki Haley to take over. When he quit, he ran the Heritage Foundation. A lot of conservatives in and out of White Houses, Congress, they don't go there if they're conservatives. I remember you used to be in fancy, okay. So former Trump employees go there. Staffers go there, absolutely. Because they go there, that means Donald Trump wrote it. Donald Trump subscribing to it. 900 pages. You can't tell me that he doesn't read anything at the same time saying he basically authored a 900-page document for how to run his administration. Really? I thought you told us he made it up on the fly. That he didn't prepare, didn't read anything. But he's going to go ahead and put together a 900-page doctrine or, I don't know, curate it. Stop with the 2025. It doesn't make any sense. I think the Brookings Institute is an example of a left-wing organization, think tank. They came out with a detailed study and some former Biden, Obama, and the Harris staffers were there. Does that mean that Kamala Harris is part of that? No, it does not mean that. So why would we believe that 2025 is something? Donald Trump was asked that specifically about 2025 by, I think, May, and he said, and he answered flat out, I have nothing to do with 2025. So I'm not even going to play the clip. But the second thing was cutting Medicare and cutting Social Security. He's not doing either one of those things. Future retirement, even though it would have been their decision, so he couldn't get that done. But having said that, he never thought about cutting Medicare. What he says is don't give Medicare to legal immigrants. You against that? So he's not looking to ban abortion. He's never said he's looking to ban abortion. He's turning it over to the state, much to the chagrin of the pro-life movement. You think that he would have made the decision Ohio made? I don't think so. Very stark decision, very tough on abortion in Texas. They didn't make that decision either. 6 weeks in Florida. But in other red states like Kansas, there's pretty liberal policy when it comes to abortion. He turned it over to the states to stop missaying it. And he never came out against the abortion drugs, even though the pro-life people are mad at him for not doing that. And he didn't pick a week, even though some people say just do what New York does and say 15 weeks. He didn't do it. So if you want to say he should have picked 15 or 16 weeks, sure. But just understand too, you can go right to the point of birth in Minnesota and in California. And there were five different incidents where babies were actually born. Only 2 were giving life-ending comfort drugs. The rest just died in Minnesota. So if you want to start talking about this ugly part and it's the hardest thing ever, if you're Kamala Harris, you're actually glorifying. They say this is a definitive moment for her. No one ever talks about. We weren't talking about abortion since I got to Fox until the last year. 74 days to Election Day. Trump's got to push back on all those things. He's got $400 million to get out ahead. She might have more money. That's fine. But you got enough. Internet, TV, billboards, spread them out. And for Donald Trump, to get the message out, she'll be very smooth on the stuff. She's going to take very few questions. What you got to do is keep pushing her to take questions. Have situations where you have a reporter at every stop throwing out some questions where she can't get away. We saw with Biden. He wants to go out, but the question is so loud and clear, it looks like he can't answer unless he stops. So I'm not really sure how she got the job. I know she seemed to be quite ready for it, but no one's accusing her of maybe pushing him over the ledge, meaning Joe Biden. She did have nice things to say, Colorado.
Your President Joe Biden. When I think about the path that we have traveled together, though I'm filled with gratitude. Your record is extraordinary, as history will show, and your character is inspiring.
Good, because that's your record. So your record when Afghanistan, I'll pull it up, Afghanistan, where we have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment there they're still using and selling. You went to California while also telling
Hi, Brucey. How you doing, buddy?
It was your plan that you were proud of. Bring a groundbreaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act.
What are you working on today, Brucey?
Infrastructure deal. Nothing's been done on infrastructure. The Inflation Reduction Act has not been implemented. Most of the money has not been spent. And infrastructure has gotten us 8 terminals and no internet for rural areas. So that's what you got to run on and defend. And that's what the president's got to bring out September 10th. I just spoke to Tulsi Gabbard, who's working with them on the debate. He says he knows his stuff inside and out. Now, after that, before I got on camera and after. So he usually say, well, we just had a great conversation. Says no. He was ready to go on almost all these issues. And I said, did you look at the way she prosecuted and cross-examined some of the nominees, like General Kelly, former Security Secretary, like William Barr, when he looked for nomination, when Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh, was looking for confirmation. Did you see the way she questioned? She could do the same to you. You got to be ready. The president, unfortunately, as for him, has a lot of experience with lawyers and attorneys. They brought up January 6th last night. They also brought out foreign policy. They brought in foreign policy, and this is where I think she's extremely vulnerable.
I'm having a hard time getting it. I'm almost got there. Once I get that fitting all tightened up real tight. Right now I gotta do something more right now to cut it. And that fitting right there should be down up. So if we pull the wire up, it'll pull some of the tension out of it.
I couldn't pull it up.
Couple of things. When you had said she goes back in, if you want to play that clip right next to that battle, but when she goes back in, she gets a lot of applause, gets more applause than she. I'll talk about how the Democratic constituency is. When you had a chance to show you how tight you were with it, really didn't show up when Netanyahu addressed Congress. That shows you there's something else. Please do the Brian Kilmeade show. When we come back, you're called 1-866-408-7669. What'd you think? 4 days in begin and done. What did you think was the conference? Show me. Politics, currency, and news that affect you. Brian's got a lot more to say. With Brian Kilmeade.
Getting quality and full use of those positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people
All right.
And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, then through a list of great matches for you, and actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 of the 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. Do for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know your life is drafted an asset? You can stop it. I'm Dave Gaspar, CEO of Advocate Life. For almost 20 years, Advocate has been purchasing life insurance policies for seniors just like you. And at AdvocatePay.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy for just a second. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value for your life insurance for you with Advocate. Learn more at AdvocatePay.com. Policies available in all states. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audience, the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices. Just one.
Struggle's real, people. Well, pull your finger out and get stuck in it, bud.
Hi, this is Beth Miguel, host of Network Radio. As a broadcaster, sinuses are very important if you don't want to listen to a stuffy guy. Well, those sinuses in the past year were clear all winter and all spring. Thanks
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Generation.com, the sinus treatment that Dr. David Slater recommended. That protocol, initiated by Heather and Katrina, has totally transformed my winter and spring. Allergies, sinus infection, this knocks it out. Both of my sinuses are clear. I urge you to go to advancedregeneration.com, ping them right now for your appointment, or 469-708-0005. When you go to advancedregeneration.com, you'll see the medical studies that back up high-intensity laser therapy make a huge difference. Advancedregeneration.com, 469-708-0005. Is your CD causing things to be uncomfortable in the bedroom? Millions of couples suffer from the effects of CD every year. Comfort dysfunction is caused by worn-out heating and air conditioning systems, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So the moment things get a little steamy at home, immediately call Reliant Air Conditioning. Their technicians are all certified in the proper treatment of comfort dysfunction. If your CD is leaving you unsatisfied, then look into something more comfortable with a new Carrier Infinity system from Reliant Air Conditioning.
Do not drink alcohol in excess with Reliant. It simply increases your chances of hugging your technician. The most common side effect of calling Reliant is saving up to 56% on your utility bills.
Before calling Reliant, ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for extreme comfort.
In the rare event of comfort dysfunction lasting more than 4 hours, you can meet your relief by calling Reliant Air Conditioning at 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO. Or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. They're threatening to close your business. If debt has your business on the brink, call Ray Reynolds, the godfather of credit. For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped thousands of customers get millions in cash credit. It's no wonder why they call Ray the godfather of credit. He may even be able to raise your score above 750 before the end of the year. You can even get a new personal or business credit line up to $50,000 within days. If your credit needs a rebuild, call Ray Reynolds and receive a $1,000 cash credit card at closing. Raise your credit score to 750 or more. $295. 800-576-2295. Learn about Ray's secret to success.
set and how he can fix and improve your credit score to 750 or more. Call the godfather of credit rebuild, Ray Reynolds, at 800-576-2295. 800-576-2295. Wake up, GFW, to Clayton Neville and Laura Sadler and GFW's Morning News. Weekdays from 5 till 9 on 570 KLIF and 96.3 FM HD2. A talk show that's real. This is the Brian Kilmeade Show.
You guys can see the flags in New York, but the amount, we've talked a lot over the course of the last couple of days about how different countries are playing patriotism, and I really feel like it culminated in this fact that there's these gigantic flags. There's a chick singing the Star Spangled Banner. There's this thesis that I think came into sort of full flower tonight with Kamala Harris making the argument that the true strength, the true integrity, the true patriotism lies in the Democratic Party. And they have opened the flaps of the tent to encompass Republicans, to encompass doubters, to encompass people that felt culturally divorced in the party for decades. And here we have, I think, one of the broadest, deepest, most diverse coalitions I've ever seen. All of them marching under the Stars and Stripes. It's really something else. This is a Democratic convention.
If you are talking patriotism and it's sincere, it's great. I love it. Whatever it is, I love the fact that they actually had flags up. Not nearly as much as the Republicans, but what they're doing is, as experts will tell you, to try to claim the Midwest and the South, or anybody. Because if you want North Carolina, you're going to walk around saying anti-American phrases, you're not going to get the bulk of that state, believe me. It's extremely patriotic. It should not be. Patriotism should not belong to one party, but unfortunately, if you had an American flag in your car, you were basically saying that you weren't a Democrat. Now they're trying to recall it. They got to earn it. But I like the fact that both parties should get on the same page for our 250th birthday in 2026, which is coming pretty quick. Take a follow in that. Looking for news, traffic, weather, and financial information to pay and more. Check out KLIS.com today. Sponsored by Blindster.com. Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made sewing, realism lighting shutters, player shade, Roman shade, bamboo shade, exterior shades, and more. All at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com. Now, a news and information update on 570 KLIF and 96.3 FM HD2. I'm the doctor. Investigations ongoing, but Fox confirms at least 5 secret service agents are placed on leave over failures leading up to the counter-terrorism attack in Pennsylvania. At least one agent has been put on leave from former President Trump's personal protective team. In a statement, Secret Service says agents are held to the highest professional standards, and any substantial violations will be investigated for potential disciplinary action. Fox's alleged now interest rate cuts are coming when and how many will depend on specific economic conditions that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Inflation has declined significantly. The labor market is no longer overheated, and conditions are now less tight than they just prevailed before the pandemic. Powell supposed to be said in the economic symposium in Jacksonville, Wyoming. Stocks are higher today on Wall Street, as widely expected to have a quarter point cut lately. In this September, America's looking the ladies are growing due to a crash, blocking off 3 right lanes on 75 northbound Plano Parkway. You're now backed up from Campbell Road, outside 45-minute backup. Also, a reminder for an accident on 35 W northbound near Maple Avenue. Still waiting where what lane to block off, but you're still backed up from County Road 204, having happened how you're done here. As Lowood is up on I-45 northbound, you'll find barrels blocking off the left lane to keep Simpson Stewart Road over to Luke 12 left under. With KLIS right now traffic, I'm Jason Foster. Hi, I'm Dan Franklin. Since 1994, I've been a trusted home buyer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Even during difficult and uncertain times, I'm still here, ready to find your home. My mission is to pay you more money for your home. I give you all of the offers. Call me at 214-929-5555. That's 214-929-5555. After a brief walkthrough, I'll share current market information with you, and regardless of conditions, present you with a dependable cash offer. No middlemen, no delay,
It's a fair, fast, and profitable deal for you. Don't wait. Call 214-921-5555. Remember, my goal is to pay you more money for your home. So let's turn your home into cash to bank. Call Dan at 214-929-5555. Those are Elmer's and me. Elmer's the after from Elmer's Heating Air, reminding you it's time to get your AC system summerized. You got AC dry summerized. In Elmer's there's no regular or AC tune-up. No, it's not. For 129 bucks, this Elmerizer is tire system. Goodbye. So clean, play, and family safe. Fully recalibrated back with factory fresh conditions, so it'll run like it's young again. We spend the extra time needed to custom tweak and adjust your system so it will blow stronger, get colder and warmer, and use less energy doing this. Your comfort goes up and your energy bills go down all year long. Wow! I want to get Elmerized. I got Elmerized last week. You got what? And if you don't think that Elmerization is the best heating and air service you've ever received, I'll just give you your money back. Well, I can do it. Just call Elmer's for your $199 from free. Online at callelmers.com. You don't hear the radio ad of the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared. And try to tell you with it all. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. CRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6427. Don't lose hope. CRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,005 reviews on Google and a great talk to the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmares today by visiting us online at CRA.com or call 800-575-6427. That's 800-575-6427. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. 570 KLIF. Available 24/7 on our free mobile app. Download it today and stay in the know. A radio show like no other. It's Brittany Gilmade. Welcome back, everyone. Jacob Howell enjoys the town Provost, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Dean of Intellectual Foundations at the University of Austin. So, of course, it's important time to have a university on Provost side. But what makes it really special is this college, university is the first on-campus semester right now, and it's a lot different than you would think, or most colleges typically are. Jacob, welcome to the Brian Kilmeade Show. It's great to be here, Brian. Thank you. So, Jacob, tell me what makes the University of Austin different and as special this month of this. Okay, well, we are unlike other universities because other universities have really lost the thread. Because of what the university is, the teachers, and what they really transmit and extend knowledge. Now, I think most universities, or at least many, have turned into the centers of indoctrination. And you know, statistics that support that in terms of later ratio of the liberal on campus, which is a kind of index of intellectual pluralism. But the main point I would make is that when you're at every university, students are going to make mistakes, and you can't learn if you make mistakes. They're afraid to make mistakes because they don't want to be censored. If I told you you had to learn how to ride a bike, but you couldn't fall off, you wouldn't be able to do it. So what you're doing is founding a university on the principles of open discourse, civil discourse, to pursue the truth. We are not going to have ideology in the classroom, and students will not be biting their tongues. No, professors. So some of the bigger names that the talk district necessary they provide to come out. Neil Ferguson, one of the smartest guys we'll talk to. We have Joe Lonsdale too. He's also made a huge impact. We have Barry White too, of the Free Press, formerly the New York Times. This is a group of people that came together that saw a huge problem. It doesn't mean you're necessarily agree and vote for the same people, right? Yeah, that's right. I think there's intellectual pluralism and diversity of viewpoints on the board. But we are not interested in being bound to say the university of the right.
we're interested in transcending politics. So we're not going to be another wholesale that already exists that does really well. God bless them. We want to be a place where all these are represented and we can have open discourse and collective inquiry into the fundamental problems of human existence. How hard was it to get this off the ground? What was the greatest hurdle? I'll tell you, I would say the greatest hurdle has been regulatory capture. There's been no new secular or non-sectarian university in Texas in over 50 years, and there's good reason for that. It's very hard to start a new university. So, for example, before you are nationally accredited, which cannot occur until you graduate the first class of undergraduates, you cannot advertise your university at college fairs and high schools. You cannot accept federal money in terms of financial aid, no Pell Grants. Parents can't use their 529 savings plans. So it's a big risk to, say that your son or daughter is going to start at this university, and it's a big risk for faculty, and frankly for the administrators and staff. We've all joined this project because we're all on board in the belief that universities need to be rebuilt. They've been central to the lifeblood of the American economy, to developing leadership, to developing American citizens. They're not doing that anymore. Can you get an idea on some of your staff and some of the courses that you guys offer? Sure. So we have a very interesting curriculum. The way we look at education is, like rowers, you got to look backward in order to look forward. And we are very forward-looking. That's, by the way, why we're building our university in Austin. Tocqueville in the 1830s came to the United States and was amazed at the civic entrepreneurship. Americans will look at a problem, they form a committee, and they tackle it. That's what Austin is like. It's a big startup city. So our university has three real dimensions in the curriculum. One is intellectual foundations, which I designed, which is studying the best citizens on focusing on fundamental human questions like what is civilization, what is politics, why do we need law. So there's that part. And then students have the opportunity after their freshman and sophomore years to develop 21st century techniques, tools, intellectual tools to focus on contemporary problems, that are related to computing and AI and so forth. But the sort of through line that connects this backward-looking and forward-looking curriculum is our Polaris project, named after the North Star. And the idea is that once you do intellectual foundations and you come to understand the conditions of human flourishing, what is a human being? What do human beings need? You then develop a project to attend to the needs of human beings today in 2024. And so you're actually applying your liberal education. So that's, I think, a very distinctive feature of our curriculum. And it's an interesting and creative tension between this preservation, the graceful reception of the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors, and applying it looking forward to make the world better. Jacob Allen, our guest provost, senior VP for academic affairs, Dean of Intellectual Foundation at the University of Austin, about to launch. How much does it cost? What kind of students are you looking for? Well, we're actually scholarshiping our students this year and next year, so we're giving them full tuition because, frankly, Brian, there are tens of thousands of students who want to attend the University of Austin. They just don't know that we exist, and they're taking a big risk coming here. So, but we've pegged our tuition at $32,500, which is less than half of what a major elite institution charges. And the students, not only that we're looking for this, but that we have attracted, are outstanding. We have students who have started multiple businesses, students who have produced films dealing with cancer, students, and incidentally, these students, before we've even started, the first class is on September 9th. They've gotten together to write, direct, and produce a film, to start a Substack, to form reading groups. So they're very bold and ambitious in terms of their education. And we're going to continue attracting those students. And also we've attracted faculty who really match those students in terms of their capabilities and interests. I imagine some of them have to be frustrated with the current system right now. I was just talking to Jordan Peterson. He used to teach at, I think, Harvard. He just said they didn't recognize the place. They used to have a great faculty in the 90s to be able to talk and banter about issues. Now, if you have a conservative point of view, you're ostracized. They really just want you out. And Austin is an enclave of Texas that's known to be very liberal. Homeless problem, things that just don't exist in other areas of Texas. Is Austin welcoming to you? Austin has been pretty welcoming. You know, we have a lot of supporters from Austin. You're right that it is sort of let's say, blue or purple enclave within Texas. But Texas as a whole has really welcomed us. There's a lot of wealth here. We've gotten a lot of donors. We've raised, almost $200 million. And we're also getting national support as well, especially a lot of interest from some of the folks who are alumni of Harvard and Columbia and places and are not interested anymore in donating to those schools. Well, I do think Austin is an excellent place for us to start. There's just so much vibrant energy here. So Jacob, what type of professors want to teach there? And are you competitive salary-wise where you could get quality? We certainly are competitive salary-wise. Now, Austin is an expensive town, but, we are paying, for example, at the entry level of assistant professor, $90,000 a year. And listeners who have to be in academia will know that is a very good salary. And the faculty that we've been attracting, some have left institutions where they've been canceled or they're just upset about the ideological foundation of the classroom. But others are coming to Austin, for example, because they're interested in opportunities to extend their research in ways that aren't available elsewhere. So we have a professor, her name is Elliot Ogilvie, who's coming from Cornell. And she is, her field is bioastronautics. She studies the effects on the human body of being in space for a long time. She's in Austin because this is where SpaceX is. This is where Elon Musk is. This is where the future of technology in terms of space exploration is situated. And so she has opportunities that she doesn't have at Cornell. And that's the kind of professor we're getting, folks who are not interested in being able to say, I'm at a top university, look at how much honor and prestige I have. They're interested in what they're studying and what they're teaching. So that could be the case in a few years where people are going to look at your place and it will have that reputation. And it's important for, I guess, you get off on the right foot. So when you look at the students, what student bodies do you have now to start? What did you discover in the summer in your trial run? Are there dorms on campus for them to live in? Well, that's a good question. So we're starting with 90, maybe 92, 93 students where students are still interested in applying. We decided to set a target of 100 or thereabouts because if you launch a university and you say, we're going to have 1,000 students to begin with, well, you got to hire hundreds of faculty and you're actually going to have lost the game right there because we're very selective. We want to make sure that the faculty we are bringing in are mission aligned, that they buy our notion of restoring intellectual pluralism, civil discourse, asking questions and making mistakes in the classroom so students can learn. Students do have dorms. They're actually they're going to be living about a mile and a half from campus in the region of the University of Texas, which, as you know, is also in Austin. But we're going to have shuttle buses to bring them down. They're in a lovely building. Actually, some of our faculty are envious of their accommodations. So, what's important to remember is that we've got great students, we've got outstanding faculty whom I've chosen because they're outstanding teachers. We have a campus, we have accommodations, but the procedure is kind of chunky because we ourselves are a startup. And if you talk to anybody who's a startup, you make mistakes. But we've got students and faculty who are on board with us. They're going to help us build this institution, and we're going to constantly correct. We're very lucky to have these excellent people joining us. All right, so we have this whole protest movement going on. There's anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian movement. Do you expect that on your campus? I don't actually expect it on our campus, but if it were to occur, we would shut it down immediately because, the condition for pursuing truth and for teaching and learning is having no interruption of those intellectual activities, and we're simply not going to tolerate it. My bigger concern, Brian, is there might be some folks in Austin at the University of Texas, for example, who were protesting, Palestinian protesters, and some of that might spill over sort of into our vicinity, which is downtown. But I'm not very concerned about that at this point. All right, Jacob, exciting times. Your first, everyone will always remember the first class of professors, first class of students.
I look forward to checking in with you again, seeing how everything's progressing.
Thanks so much, Brian. I really appreciate being on your show.
Yeah, that's a lot, and there's the provost with the few moments of downtime. Talk about this exciting time, the launch of the University of Austin. All right, when we come back, I'll take some of your calls. We'll talk about what happened in the final day of the DNC, why I believe there are two things happening for the Trump team that's going to give them their first momentum they had in 3 weeks. I'll discuss when we return. Educating, entertaining, enlightening. You're with Brian Kilmeade. 570 AM, KLIF.
Faithful by Christian Care Ministries.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is Medishare. You get both. Many families pay $500 a month with Medishare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied too. The member satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because Medishare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Feeling congested? And Navage, you know life is better when you can breathe freely. Congestion shouldn't ruin your summer. That's why people just like you turn to Navage, a revolutionary and easy way to help clear nasal passages. Using simple suctions, Navage removes allergens, dust, and it's fast, gentle, and incredibly effective. Try Navage and get on your way to a better day. Get Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, Sam's Club, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or online at Navage.com. Navage. Breathe better, fast. Hi, I'm Angie Nix, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Ever since I was a kid, I looked up to my dad. Man, he could fix anything, including power generators. That puff and smoke and the sound of the machine roaring with electricity was the coolest thing ever. He'd give me a high five and say, son, you're the generator. Since then, I've spent decades building my company with one goal, helping people like my dad did. And now, I own the best generator company in DFW. See our story at generator.com. Like generator with a K. Generator.com.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy sheriff. In my job, keep me in shape and supported. I've tried every promise to keep my weight down, but nothing has worked like Henry 400. In just 3 months, I dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Henry 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself. Andro 400 is a safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. It's the original Fort Worth Gun Show this weekend only at the Will Rogers Memorial Center. Don't be confused. This is the biggest in Texas with the most guns, ammo, and supplies and accessories. Over 1,200 tables. Come buy, sell, or trade. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that special piece to add to your gun, knife, ammo, or military collection, we have it all under one roof. Visit FortWorthGunShow.com or call 817-732-1194. That's the original Fort Worth Gun Show at Will Rogers Memorial Center this weekend only. I'm one Brian Tony here. Markley Van Camp and Robin is next to noon on 570 KLIF and 96.3 FM HD2. The more you listen, the more you'll know. Brian told me.
What people miss is the difference between 2016 and 2020. In 2016, you had two third-party candidates who ran very aggressive campaigns, picked up 4 to 5% of the vote. You also had depressed African-American shutout in Philadelphia, Detroit, and Milwaukee. In 2020, you did not have a third-party candidate, and turnout was elevated. And I think sometimes people miss where the swing vote in these swing states is not only these independent voters, it's also voters who don't consistently turn out. And so I think that the factor of the third-party candidate is very interesting. Robert Kennedy seems to be on his way out of the race. Yeah. If he exits the race, then you really have a binary choice that's much clearer, more like 2020 than 2016.
No doubt about it. And I think it's going to be it's going to be a binary choice unless you think that RFK has followers, more than Jill Stein has followers, more than, Ralph Nader has followers. I believe he's got followers. And that's why I believe it's significant. If he comes out and they campaign for Trump and says, look, you know me, I'm an environmentalist, I've been a Democrat, where I stand on all these liberal issues. And I still think that Trump is better for America. And what's happening with this party right now is going to be terrible for the country. If he delivers, let's say 2%. You take 2% in these battleground states, they flip. The other big story is Brian Kemp. So Brian Kemp, when I was Sean Hannity last night, it made it clear to one person in particular, Donald Trump, who was watching, that I'm all in for you. I've got my team out for you. I have had a substantial win on a disappointing year for Republicans against their number one star, Stacey Abrams, on pure performance. I have a machine inside Georgia. I also did voting reform to tighten up everything. Put up with a lot of headwinds because of it. It turns out turnout was not hindered at all. The guy who's governor, Brian Kemp, said this, cut 26. We got to win. We got to win from the top of the ticket on down. I've been saying consistently for a long time, we cannot afford another 4 years of the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I think, Kamala Harris and Tim Walton would be even worse. So we need to send Donald Trump back to the White House. We need to retake the Senate. We need to hold the House. We need to hold our legislative majorities that we have in the great state of Georgia. And it takes hard work. That's what we've been doing. For him to say that at a time in which they were going at each other personally, and now they put it really more Trump on Kemp, they put it behind him. Trump heard that, hopped on last night after Kamala Harris spoke. That's what he said. Well, I guess so, Brian, on a very good man. Did you ever hear of a man named Sean Hannity? And he was interviewed by Sean Hannity, and he was very nice, and he said he wants Trump to win, and he's going to work with me 100%. And I think
going all right? You didn't need any slack?
With Brian Kemp.
No, I took the mallet.
Knowing this is going to be a
just
two-point
hammered
race in
fitties
Georgia,
in.
he probably lose the state.
Okay.
And knowing that 3 weeks ago, Trump called him out
we'll get the
because
meat eating.
Mrs. Kemp came out and said, I don't think I can support Donald Trump.
All right, I'm almost
angry.
done.
You gotta be kidding me. You unleashed it. You haven't stopped this case, Fonnie Willis, from coming at me, and now this. So he has nothing to do with that case. Can't really stop it that I can tell. And Brian Kemp never really went at Trump. They said disagreement on the election and what happened and what could be done in 2020. I don't want to go over that. You don't want to go over that. But you realize that Brian Kemp on board and Governor Nikki Haley said, if they ask me, I will come. These are the 1 or 2 point things that happen in North Carolina and in Georgia, throughout the South. That will get people to say, look, they disagreed, they had their problems, but they offer a solution, and the friction and the fighting coming to an end. Now, you might not think it's a big deal, but when these elections are so close, I think it's a huge deal. So next thing you know, if you see Kemp and Trump on maybe, I don't know, going through the state of Georgia, big and small towns, starting in Atlanta, trying to take something out there. Nobody knows the President Kemp. And Kemp is smart too, because whether Trump wins or loses, he's done. And after 2 years, he's done as governor, term limited out. So then he started deciding he's got a legitimate shot of being president, or at least running for president, getting a lot of money behind him, except the backers. It'd be different. You don't want to have the Trump crowd fighting him. For you to win, you don't want to be an enemy of Trump. You don't necessarily need the whole Trump fanfare, but you don't want to be an enemy of the movement. And neither does Nikki Haley. So you help them out, you get the same objective, and then you have your own future. Let's qualify for enrollment with opening areas.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million, you deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-282-1968. 800-282-1968. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-282-1968. Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, test GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information is vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply. BMW station for Brian Kilmeade and John Hannity, 570 KLIF, Dallas, Fort Worth, and 96.3 KSBS FM, EC2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Several Secret Service agents are now on leave. From Lisa Brady, Fox News. We're learning today that action was taken earlier this week as a probe of security failure continues after the Trump assassination attempt last month.
Federal law enforcement officials tell Fox News at least 4 Secret Service agents from the Pittsburgh field office were put on leave, including the special agent in charge. At least one agent has been put on leave from former President Trump's Texas team. Secret Service is currently under internal review from the Department of Homeland Security following the assassination attempt on former President Trump, which has led to significant scrutiny of the agency.
Current bills in Washington. Fox News also learning the Secret Service was notified of the 4th Pennsylvania rally about a possible Iran plot against Trump. The Biden administration is being sued by 16 Republican-led states over a new possible path to citizenship for some illegal immigrants married to U.S. citizens, using the administration as bypassing Congress for political purposes.
Texas, Florida, and 14 other states, along with America First Legal, are suing the U.S. Department of Homeland Security over its rule known as Rule in Place, which they allege shields an illegal migrant from being deported if the person is married to United States citizens. The states argue the rules violate federal law preventing illegal immigrants from obtaining benefits, including permanent status, without first leaving the country and seeking lawful re-entry.
According to Devin Brown, to be eligible for the program, immigrants have to meet multiple requirements.
For years I was living in constant pain. There were days I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't paint, I couldn't write. I honestly was so bad I had a hard time even doing work. I tried to tough it out. They just grin and bear it. They go, Anya, finally, after we went to the Mayo Clinic, we went everywhere.
And Anya had heard about Relief Factor on the Blade, and she said, why don't you try that? She kind of pretty much made me try it, and it was amazing. It's been a miracle. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free. It's a daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. It was developed by doctors. It uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where the pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with mind over matter. Try Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800.
That's the wiring done. Got the wiring all wired up.
Order is 1-800, the number
All that.
Fight pain.
That was a pain.
Go to Markspain.com to find out what your guaranteed offer will be. That's Markspain.com and start packing. Sponsored by Blindster.com. Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made ProWood, RealWood blinds and shutters, trailer shades, room shades, bamboo shades, exterior shades, and more. All at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com. On the 570 KLIF News Desk. This is an instant information update on 570 KLIF and 96.3 FM HD2.
With real news and information at 570 KLIS, I'm Laura Sanford. The Texas DPS no sex changes on driver's license.
The Texas Department of Public Safety will no longer allow transgender residents to change their sex on their driver license along with their gender identity. That's according to an internal agency email that an employee of the agency confirmed they received with applying for the comment. Previous rules allow changes due to clerical errors or if an amended birth certificate or an original certified court record was presented. The state agency said in a statement Wednesday that it's not accepting court orders. The change was prompted by Attorney General Tim Baxter's concerns about the validity of the court orders. Mike Trina, KLIF News.
And now that both the Republican and Democratic national conventions have wrapped up, advocates are urging North Texans to make sure they're registered to vote in the presidential election. According to Vote.org, in the first 48 hours after President Joe Biden bowed out of the race, almost 40,000 people signed up to vote. The League of Women's Voters Texas President Joyce LaValle says they've been working hard to make sure that trend continues in Texas.
Texas is almost always one of the lowest ranked states in terms of voter turnout.
The last day to register to vote is Monday, October 7th. Texans who want to vote by mail ballot must apply by October 25th. Now a check at KLIS traffic.
The biggest delay right now is on 75 north side of Plano Parkway. Your express has the 3 right lanes blocked off and has you all tied up starting from Campbell Road. If you're heading this direction, plan for 40 to 45 minutes to be added to your drive. You'll find an accident in the 2 right lanes on 635 southbound Zion Road. Stopping the traffic behind the accident from the market, as well as the new crash blocking off the right lane on 635 southbound Royal Lane. And the way to this accident starts from Valley View. With KLIS right now traffic, I'm Jason Foster.
KLIS weather, an excessive heat warning has been issued for North today. High of 105, low of 80, winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Your next update with Fox News is in 30 minutes. Breaking news 24/7 on your station for GFW's Morning News with Clayton Bora. Weekday mornings 5 to 9 on 570. KLIS and 96.3 FM I'm Laura Sanford.
Traffic, weather, and financial information for today is for. Check out KLIS.com today. Katie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robin. We don't have problems. Making sense of it all. Markley, Van Camp, and Robin. All right, there's a lot to get to. It's gonna have some fun, that's for sure. The end of the DNC. Robin's gonna be taking more. I can't take it anymore. I'm glad it's over, man. I want to get back to some sort of normality. You know, Trump yesterday was talking about something that's been a big issue to a lot of voters. Oh yeah, like going back and forth between number 1 and number 2 in terms of what people are worried about right now.
All right.
You know, he visited the southern border in Arizona, and with him, and by the way, the staging was brilliant because on one side you have the border wall that was built, and on the other side
It's like they were in a corridor almost, because on the other side were all the materials that have been left to bake in the sun by the Biden administration to extend that wall. Right. I mean, that's a great backdrop to demonstrate how because the administration said when it comes to border security, it's on purpose. They want all these people to be coming across and innocent lives affected by it in America. Damn.
What's up, Kane? Hey, you missed all the wiring, bud. All the struggling today, man.
The mother of Jocelyn Nunbury, the 12-year-old girl that he just was kidnapped, raped, and murdered by two Venezuelans. Both of them made it by one of them was given an ankle monitor, but had it removed because the Biden administration didn't give him a grip. Trump spoke to the distance blog yesterday. The audio is a little bit weird, but I mean, I think a lot of this does come from the heart for Donald Trump, because he gets turned around from the podium to talk directly to her. Like, we're gonna get justice for you. Yeah.
All right. Well, you got to clamp it. Yeah. There we go. Come on, man. What are you doing today, Kane? What are you doing today, man? Maybe, I don't know, brother. All right, I gotta get the clamps. I'll be right back. Okay, Jason, you good, right? What's up, Rich? How you doing? Out of order? You have a link? Y'all done missed all the wiring, man. We done pulled all the wiring, wired it all up. It's ready to be fired up, but I'm not going to fire it up because I got 3 wires hooked to 3 double pole 50 amp breakers. This requires 40 amp, so I got to take the 3 50 amps out and buy 3 40 amp double pole breakers so that this thing's got the proper breakage on it. All right, let me get these plastic caps on. Yoo-hoo! Out of order, what are you doing? Rich, what are you welding on? Kane, you two wheeling or one wheeling? I didn't have room to put a big 30 or 40 gallon tank water heater in here. So previously it had a damn, it's like yeah, it previously had a tankless in here, and when the weather got down to like, I don't know what it was, 0 degrees or something, it wasn't insulated, and at the time I didn't have skirting on the house, and it froze up. It wasn't working good anyway, so I just went back with another tankless. Editing video from last evening's car show. 4 on, 3 off. Yeah, I used to work that compressed work week. So I think that's what we call it, condensed or compressed or something like that. I did that for about 13 or 14 years. Drove like an hour there and back every day. 3 on, 4 off, 4 on, 3 off. That sucks. But you know, you get a little bit more family time that way. Well, that's good. You get a little bit more family time with your Mustang that way. Yeah, I like the tankless too. Once you get the hot water going, you know, it takes 30 seconds or a minute, and this stays hot forever. Out of order. Editing video. Yeah, I hear you. Let me get some screws. I gotta get busy. Or Martin, I just got the crank.
Those three things. What are you gonna do with those three things? Okay, and I'm very commonly more about the. Remember what Elizabeth Warren did when she went back to 2020? She had white paper for every policy position under the sun, and what happened? She collapsed in the primary. So, yeah, I believe that's right. But one idea about paper, that's a bad idea. But the question, voters want to see some of those ideas. Oh my God! Elizabeth Warren is hilarious. Elizabeth Warren won a state. In fact, in the primary, the voting began. Kamala Harris was not. Right. It's actually an ordinary sale. Exactly. He dropped out before they were wrong. Right. And again, I don't know what college was. He wasn't around long enough. He knew what college was for what they were. Well, I mean, yes, I'm
Brain surge and all right, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're doing good now, man.
Well, this guy was totally goofing on this BBC reporter. He is acting like a white dude for Kamala at the convention, and so the news from the BBC is interviewing him. Here's the BBC doesn't understand this guy is totally playing, right? You know how Matt Walsh dressed up for the BBC? This guy all dressed up, and here's how the interview goes.
All right, that ain't going nowhere. Hockey. That's cool, man. That's cool. Very cool. My grandson started playing tennis. So he's athletic enough for it. My other grandkids are really babies, you know. And then my oldest grandkid, my granddaughter, she does everything, man, everything. She's in high school. She stays busy. And she wants to be a broadcaster for sports. I said, go for it. Why not, right? Guys, I'm done in here. I got to build a box though for the bottom, but like a water box. Right now, I'm just sweeping up trash and figuring out what I got to do next. So.
Did you test it?
No. Got it. 4 breakers. I mean 3 breakers. And they're 50 amp each. So I got to get 3 40 amp breakers to replace them with. Yeah, because 50 is way too much. It's got to be 40. Ally Mac, cheers. Yep. Got your breeze going. I just got through running all the electrical wiring and hooking it up, the water heater. I don't know if you can see it all on there or not, but had to run all the wiring, button that up. All right. It's either 8 or 6. I don't know which one. All right. I got to figure out my next project here, so I'm going to jump off the live. I appreciate y'all coming in and watching. Y'all have a good day and stay blessed. Be good to each other. All right, Woody out. Bye now. Bye.